YouTube. I bring you the most technologically advanced vaporizer on the market, the eVic. It is fucking awesome. Let's take a look at it.
Side to side. Side to side.
What's going on there, YouTube? Vaping with Twisted420 here, and today I got quite the special little device. This device appeals to the geek within me. Okay, it's a lovely, lovely piece. Here's the story. A good buddy of mine, Lewis, aka Lou Dizzle, came to me and said, hey man, I want to get a proper vape set up. I have X amount of money to spend, see what you can do for me. Give me some juice, give me, you know, a few different tanks, and give me a nice mod. So I went for the eVic. And I'm glad I did. I think I got to get myself one of these now. No, but seriously, this is a variable voltage, variable wattage mod. One thing slightly different than some of the other mods, like let's say the SVD, is it goes from 3 to 5 volts, and it only goes up to 11 watts. Yeah, 11 watts. Which, you know, that's not a super big deal. It's not a major deal breaker. I never vape over 5 volts anyway. Every coil that I have on any of my delivery devices are 2.7 ohms or lower, so I'm okay with that. But yeah, it's a beautiful little device. What you get in the box, one second, let me grab the box and we'll take a look. All right. Here's the box that you get your eVic in. And what you get in there is a little spot where the mod itself goes. Let's see. We've got some huge books. I can only assume that these are multiple language books. I haven't read through them too much. I'm more of a hands-on person, if you will. I'll get into all the software and all that stuff in a minute. Let's see what else they give you. They send you one Samsung 18650 rechargeable battery. Yeah, get out of there. You get a USB cable. It's a standard micro USB, just like on most of your phones, if you have Android, that is. If you're smart. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, so you can plug this thing up to anything, your radio in your car, your computer. You can actually, the neat little quirk about this, you can actually charge externally charged batteries like 18650s and so forth while it's still inside of the device, just by plugging up to the USB cable. It's pretty awesome. What else we have? We got the wall adapter for plugging up, charging there, and that's it. Move all that to the side. So let's dive right into this thing. First, let's kind of do a size comparison against a few other mods, well-known mods that you guys might know about. One second. All right, folks. So here's the eVic thrown in the mix with a few other buddies. We got the Joyetech, the natural over here to the far left. We got the eVic, we got the iTaste SVD, and we got the iTaste MVP all sitting here. One thing about the eVic is that it's extremely light. Even with the battery in it, this thing is light. And I like it and kind of dislike it. I like a firm feeling mod in my hand, no homo. And I don't know, I like a little bit of weight to it, but you know, the lightness doesn't really bother me too much. But yeah, that's just a quick size comparison to a few other mods. Now it's time. Now let's get up close and personal with this thing so we can take a look at the menus and play around with it a bit. All right, so here we are, folks. I got this thing powered down right now, so we're gonna go ahead and power it up. You do that by clicking this button. I think it's 5 times. And you'll see we'll focus, you son of a bitch. Okay, there we go. You'll see we got a few options right off the bat. Power on, sleep, vapor set, all that. We'll get into everything else later. Let's go ahead and power this bad boy on. Let's see. Joyetech. Okay, you get your time and date, your ohm load on your atomizer, and recommended power to vape at right off the bat. That's what you're greeted with. The way you operate this thing, let's say you want to go up on your voltage, you twist it this way and that. Very intuitive. It feels natural in the hand, if you will. I got this home screen, which you can customize, set up to what I like to see. And that's one of the greatest things about the eVic, people. The amount of information that you can get at any given time without digging through a whole lot. I got it set up to show my ohm load, the wattage, and battery life. And if you want to change what's over here on the left, you just twist this and hold it. Bam. Now we got the time. 1 second. And you got a puff counter. Now a puff counter is pretty gimmicky, not really a deal breaker to me. I really don't care how many puffs I've taken, but one cool thing is it shows you how many puffs you have remaining, which I think 522 is some bullshit, because I use this thing extensively for the last few days, and all day at work I get home and still have about 30% left on this battery. But if you hold and twist to the right, you jump into wattage mode. Oh wait, let me get back to where I can see my voltage and stuff over there. Cool thing is, when you're in wattage and you're adjusting, it keeps track of your voltage as well, which is fucking awesome. Now, a few other things. If you keep holding the button to the right, you're getting to what they call vaping profiles, which I don't too much care for those. They're pretty useless to me. You can set these up on the computer, and I'll show you guys the software here in a minute. But the vaping profiles are fucking silly. I don't too much care for them. I just want, if I set my voltage or something to my voltage, that's what I want to do. That's how I want to vape. You know what I mean? I don't really too much care what's going on. And if you guys are curious, I got some Mount Baker Vapor Double Apple in this cartomizer tank. But anyway, focus, you son of a whore. I should use my tripod for this. Shouldn't be holding it, but it's working out pretty good. Let's dive right into the menu real quick. All right, so you can set this thing to sleep. You also have a sleep timer to where if you haven't used the device for like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, it'll automatically set itself to sleep, which is awesome. Let's take a look at vapor set. This is where you can tweak everything. You can control what the switches do up and down. I'm not gonna do any of that because I got everything where I want it. Let me go back up here. You can adjust your mode from manual to auto. I'll get into that in a minute also. You can adjust everything on your home screen to show what it shows on the left and right. It is pretty awesome. Stealth is used for like, most of the times when you hit this thing, I'll show you real quick. Stealth makes the screen not light up. Okay, that's basically what stealth does. And see, as you pull the trigger, it counts how many seconds you've been vaping. If you don't want that lighting up, let's say you're in a dark room in a theater or something, you can set that stealth mode and nothing will happen when you press the buttons, which is pretty sweet. Where was I? Yeah, you can configure the battery to what type battery you're using. You can customize it. It's freaking nuts the amount of options that this thing has. Screen, you can customize the screen, what time it times out, how long it stays on after nothing's been pressed. It's pretty fucking awesome. I'm gonna get out of that. Temperature, you can check the battery temperature and put it in Celsius or Fahrenheit. There's puff counter alarms, all kinds of shit. I'm gonna tell you honestly, a lot of this stuff is just, you know, not really necessarily useful, but it's cool that it's there anyway. You know what I mean? Let me go back up. Oh yeah, device. Check this out. Device ID. You get your serial number stuff like that. All your information. Version. We're on firmware 1.3, which is really cool that you can actually update the firmware in this mod. It's crazy to think that, you know, something new and cool comes along down the line. Maybe they'll have a firmware update for it. It's pretty awesome. User info. I got this set to Lewis Narrison, Mr. Lewis Narrison, and I did that for him ahead of time just because it's pretty cool and personal, if you will. What else we got? And if you want to check the ohm load, bam, 1.8 ohms. So that's the menu system. Not really much else to see there. And what's funny is everything that you can do on the computer with the software, you can pretty much do on the mod, except for setting your vaping profiles, which once again, I could give two shits about. But yeah, that is up close and personal with the eVic. Let's back out and talk about it a little bit. All right, folks, so let's talk about the pros and cons and a few other things on this. Price. The eVic, you're gonna find the kit in the US for about 110 bucks. Not too bad for what you're getting, because I mean, you're getting a battery right off the bat, you're getting a charger. You get a pretty decent little setup right out of the gate, so that's not too shabby. What else do I like about this little fella? It's sleek. All the information given on screen at any given time is freaking awesome. I really, really love it. I mean, the fact that it keeps up with how long you vape, it's interesting. It's not necessarily useful, but it's interesting. Any cons that I might say about the eVic? The 5-volt limit, kind of be a deal breaker for some people. If you're using a high ohm load cardos or something like that, and you know, that might kind of upset you. What else? The finish, some people don't like the finish. I like it. I also have, you can get all kinds of extra tube sets. This is a nice, heavy, sturdy 18500 chrome tube set right here. It's got a little smiley face on the bottom for the venting. You can find all kinds of different tube sets. Curve Fannis makes a telescopic tube set for this thing that is awesome. But oh yeah, let me show you guys how this little fella breaks down. You also have ego threading underneath here, just like on the SVD and a few others. So that means that all your tanks are gonna work. Your Stardust, your EVODs, everything's gonna work right out of the gate. I was gonna tell you also, this is an updated eVic. The ones before, the head was glued on. They had a problem with breaking if you dropped it or anything. The newest ones have screws holding the head in, so that's a big plus. But if you take this all apart, that's the battery in there, positive connection. That's all there is to it, right there. That's all there is to it. You got your little USB flap that opens, your button, and this ring that twists. That's it. It's pretty neat. I like it. You can get just the control head too, and then piece together your own eVic kit with different tubes and so forth. It's pretty neat stuff, if I do say so myself. But I like the way it breaks down. It's nice. You know what? Matter of fact, let me go ahead and put the chrome set together just to show you guys what that looks like. I'm gonna show you guys something else that's interesting. One more little quirk about the eVic. Right now, I got a 2.1 ohm pro tank on here, and I can do pretty much whatever I want. I can go all the way up to 11 watts. And this isn't even necessarily a bad thing. I'll show you in a second. All right, cool. Yeah, we're going 11 watts. Getting a full, what, 4.8 volts? All right, now watch this. Let's swap this head out. Get out of here, Pro Tank. Now let's drop on this 1.7 ohm cardo. It's gonna detect it, 1.7. And you're gonna notice that it backed down. It's still at 11 watts, but it backed down to 4.32 on the voltage. Which this really, in all actuality, this was they had a hiccup on version 1.2 firmware to where you could only go higher on low ohm load. Fuck, son of a bitch. You could only go higher wattage and voltage on low ohm load coils. Son of a bitch. Now, they got it set to where they limit you at your utmost. At 11 watts, I'm at 4.3 volts, which makes sense because you don't want to vape a low ohm coil at a high wattage or voltage. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. I just thought I'd show you guys that real quick. The thing, it's smart. It's smart. You plug the atomizer in and it like kind of recommends how you should vape it, and I like that. I like that. All right, folks, we got this thing plugged up to the computer. As you can see, it's charging the battery that's in the device, which is awesome. All right, we're gonna go ahead and look at this software real quick, people. And here's the thing about the software. Like I said, everything that you can do on the mod, you can pretty much do on here, or vice versa. Everything you can do on here, you can mostly do on the mod. A lot of stuff like setting your home screen up. It just makes it a lot easier, I guess, the fact you can use a computer. Set your alarms, set your puff, stealth mode, all that good stuff. You can customize your battery, customize the screen, how long it stays on. Pretty much everything that you guys saw before. But one of the extra added little, see, look, it even tells you what ohm load you're at right now and how much battery life you got left. Firmware version, everything. That's pretty awesome. It even keeps up with how much you've been vaping, what voltage you've been staying at for the most part. And you can go from week to day. It's pretty sweet. I really don't care about most of this. It tells you what ohm load you mainly stay at. But it's cool to be able to do all this stuff. We got Lewis's info in there. You can retrieve data from the e-cig to check all that information we just showed. You can update the firmware here. Let me go back home. Here's where things get interesting. Here we go. Yeah, you can go in here and set up 3 different profiles for when you vape. You can set it up to where as soon as you hit the button, from different seconds to different voltage, you can set it to start at like 5 volts, drop down to like 4.5, and then rise back up to 5 within 10 seconds. It's pretty nutty, and I really don't see the use in it, but it's there if you want to do it. It's pretty nuts. But yeah, that's pretty much the firmware in a nutshell. It just gives you everything all laid out in a nice little graphic display. It's cool. It's cool. Useful somewhat, yes, maybe, but it's there. The software is free on their website. All you got to do is go download it, install it, bada bing, bada boom. But yeah, that's the eVic software. Okay, so in the end, how would I rate the eVic? I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. And maybe a 8.5 out of 10. Who knows? The excitability of having upgradable firmware to do all kinds of different stuff down the line is awesome. The thing vapes. Speaking of which, let's vape on this thing a little bit. Let me go ahead and get back into voltage mode. And let's take a couple of hits real fast like. But needless to say, yes, I recommend the eVic. I will likely be buying one for myself. It's a really nice little piece. I've heard a lot of people say they've had one for a while and experienced no problems. In the limited time that I've used it, it's been great. But yeah, let's go ahead and vape it up, watch it all fall out. All right. Four seconds. Thing hits like a champ too. It's consistent. It's very consistent. Let me get another good hit on it. That's great. That is just fan-fucking-tastic. Lewis, you're gonna love this mod. I gotta get one myself. I highly recommend it to anybody out there. I'm liking this thing as much as my SVD, put it like that. And I love this thing. So yeah, folks, I really don't know what else to tell you about the eVic other than if it intrigues you in the least bit with the amount that it can do, go pick one up. Simple as that. Joyetech is on to something good here. It's a really nice piece. I'm gonna hate to have to mail it to you, Lou Dizzle, but hey, you know what? These things happen. But yeah, this has been Vaping with Twisted420. I had a good time. Hope you guys learned something. This was the Joyetech eVic. Enjoy. You know, guys, Monday when I mail this thing off, it's gonna be sad, but I got something exciting coming. I have a Provari version 2.5 coming in that someone's let me borrow to do a direct comparison to the iTaste SVD. A lot of people on ECF were talking about it and wanted to see it. Big debate, a lot of people bashing, crazy stuff. I'm gonna give you a completely unbiased, 100% my view of the Provari version 2.5 against the SVD. Let's see if it lives up to the hype. All right. You stay sexy, YouTube. I'm out.